Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I'm glad to see you back this time. We have something that I'm really pleased about. This is Burrlephant by Jerry McFarland. He used to make all the burrs for Bill Cutler back in the day. They do the IPP thing. Bill would have a bunch of designs to put out. Jerry'd be the guy to make them. And just kind of give you another, well, we got this too, but here, here's a disassembled piston burr by a completely different client that Jerry made. It's made at Cocobolo, and he has very distinct work that you can just see without even handling it. The bevels usually get indented, as in like on this, you can kind of see here, if you flip it over, indentations, different things. This is his look. Like this right here looks like it's probably really uneven because the bevels are going different kind of angles. They don't really line up with the box, but it works like a dream. So it's all intentional. And I believe so far, people will say that Fidget Burr or Burr Nova 3Ds is magnum opus. And there's a reason why the people that love Burrlephant love it, and I'm going to show you why. This one right here is mine. Got it from a friend a little while back who said they had left it in the box since I had sent it back from a 3-month borrow I had where I didn't solve it until the very last day. This one has, we should just say SD in it, and it will throw you. And I wasn't ready for that, so I wasn't looking for that kind of stuff. Plus, you get handed something like this, you don't want to mess it up, you know? These things are super rare. I think there's only about 20 or so, maybe 30 in the world. There's 3 revisions of it, which would include all the numbers. Usually if Jerry revises a puzzle, it's for the benefit of either chaos or the feels, for like the stuff to feel real good. I don't want to spoil any of his puzzles by saying what he's done to make that happen, but even recent puzzles have changes like that. And it's just what he likes to do. He wants either more chaos or for it to be snappier, like the snappy here. So anyways, we're talking about this here, this guy. And this may just be my favorite puzzle, at least right now, for a couple reasons. I like to assemble stuff. I don't like to spend a lot of time trying to visualize things. There's reasons for that. I like to draw out a plan. I like to, that's why I do a lot of SDs, cubes, things like that, trial and error puzzles. I don't do a lot of, I don't really do any rotation puzzles because I'm not trying to, for me to do puzzles is to let my mind kind of wander and do its thing. So stuff like this, where you can assemble something from a multitude of parts, because it says when you get it, it has like 26 or 28 parts, and then you're gonna have to build it. But it's called a burr. But unlike a burr like I just showed you over here, or something even nastier like a Cutler's Cube or something, there's not like sliding parts in where you would move a piece and then that unlocks. It's not like that with his work. His work is best defined, I guess, as saying it's kind of like a trick. You got to find the trick, like a party trick, kind of like a, not party trick, but like a puzzle box trick, if you really want to think about it. And then that will kind of unlock everything. And then from there, you take the whole thing apart, put it back together. Burrlephant's going to have more surprises than your snappies or even your fidgets, I believe. And let's get into it. I had this one a week before I found the first move, and I hear that's a common thing with Jerry's puzzles because he uses magnets that are like really strong. Also, Jerry had told me he put ebony in it, and I hadn't noticed the eyes yet, like that they stood out differently maybe from like the wood used here. And he said, well, it was a hint, but I never went that far that week I had it, and I was asked to send it along. It was like a trail of people borrowing it. So then I borrowed it from a friend, and that time I had it a few months. And like I said, at the very last day, I actually kind of figured it all out, and then I sent it on its way. So let's look at the puzzle. I mean, if you look at it, you'll see that the feet are labeled where they belong, which is nice when they're all just squares at the end or rectangles. He's got eyes. He's got tusks. He's got his trunk here. A little button tail, I suppose. Actually, literally a button tail. That has a lot of pushback. You would almost think there's springs there or something. But the very first move of this is very well held together. Good locks is, look at that. I can't show you force, but the magnets are strong. And you have to realize that the ears come out at some point. Let me find space. So they can actually come up like that. You can see inside now that there's like a metal rod there that when you push on the tail, it moves. Let's see if we can kind of get a good shot of that. It barely moves. I think it's not pushed back all the way. And then you'll see that this piece right here moves as well, but it has like this wooden dowel in there that's going in. And that's really magnetized in. So I was stuck right here, like I said, for about a week. And it wasn't until Jerry actually said something about using the ear as a tool. And I was looking at the sides and this, and the ebony eye part kept ringing in my head. So I wondered about the dowel, pulled it out, and noticed that, and this is the side you want to use it on. If you push that down, his eyeball pops out about halfway. And it's really heavily magnetized in there. There's a hole for that dowel to go through. And when you let go, it's going to knock one of his trunk pieces out, which is fine to remove, see? So there you have his trunk pieces, his ears. We have this locking mechanism that's his eyeball. We'll put that away for a moment. And what are we left with? We still can't move this like square block. That's like the burr piece, really, is what you got to think of that piece as. There's nothing else really that would be moving. This is moving, but that's not a burr. So we need to start taking it apart. If you look inside while pushing it down, you'll notice there that the rod comes up to the end of the wood here, and the metal one, and just kind of flushes with it. And then if you take the ear, you know, hold it down though. If you take the ear and put it in like this, that, you'll hear it snap, and you can pull that rod out. Now, the locking mechanism that was holding this all together is going to start to come apart. And that's this, the burr piece. Ooh, look at that. It wants to move now. So that's what we're going to do. You pop it out, and you start to see the serials and stuff. And I always get the rotation wrong. But you basically want to keep it out and just give it a little wiggle at each turn until you figure out which sides of it, there you go, are releases. It's, I believe, the top and that side. Might be this though. I'm gonna shake it a little bit maybe. There's a reason. What's going on here is this key piece has multiple, actually it's one of my favorite parts of the puzzle when it's working cool, but it can be finicky. Let me stop staring at the screen and actually work on it. I think I got lucky and I was actually going the wrong direction. Keep your finger inside of it, holding it out. And maybe I could be doing it wrong. It's always how I've done it though. That's definitely not helping anything, so let's go back to this. Basically, as you turn it, it has pins going in each direction, and they kind of like, when you go turn it a certain way, they come in and out. And a cool display, if you turn the other way, they kind of all shut down on you. There we go. Something was jammed up in there. The last one's the hardest. See, now it's being normal. There we go. So like I was saying, there's pins. If you turn it this way, you get these sets. But if you go this way, get them popping out that way. Don't mind my cat. She has a OCD issue. It's number 17. don't need that anymore. We'll keep that out of the way. And what we're left with now is actually mostly take apart. These sections here, these pieces that have these little gaps, they're all braces, they're all locks, and they're nice and labeled for you too. See, right down, right back, and you'll see the hole there for the rod, and then one of the legs fell off. There's the top. Cat's not happy about that. She don't like legs falling off for no reason. There's those legs, so we'll just put them down. Now you saw what just happened there. He took a crap all over the table. A bunch of stuff just comes flying out then. That's all the rear part of them. You take out the frame of the body here. We'll let it mix up. I know what pieces are what. I'll show you how to reassemble it. And then there's like your prize. It's a brass ball hidden in them. There's more legs, more tusks, and then the face. The face is held together by these magnets. So once you have that out, everything kind of comes together real easy. And we'll make a decent pile of it here, so you can kind of make sense. The big long ones, those are body tops. The ones with the sharp ends here are body bottoms. Okay. All these brackets that are labeled like this are for the center. This assembly right here with the piece that kind of goes over the thin rod there with the 2V1 magnets set up, that's all this. And then you have your legs and your tusks, which are going to come in later. And then the ears and the eyes over here. It sounds more morbid than it is. And it's very magnetic. So when I build this thing back, I always start on its side facing to the left. So that would be, let me adjust my camera here a bit. That would be on its right side. So put the right front and back legs here. Let's see, RB, and lighting's bad for me, LF, RF, okay. So we'll get the bottom body piece, which this would be the left side one. We need the right side one. And you know, because the tusk is going to be on the outside. So this would be a right side. And now we just got to find. The cool thing about his puzzles is that he sands them down as a solved unit, as like a football almost, like the way this one looks with legs. So when you put pieces together, if they're not meshing, they're not right. You know, like that could be right, but this is upside down or sideways, so I know it's not right. That could be right. We'll find out. The beauty of solving, right? Let's do the front leg first. I have a feeling when you assemble it, the body's bigger than you would guess. I'm gonna start with the top. Okay. So these would be where the legs hook in, this part of it. So this is the back end. So this would be the right side. This is right front, so it goes right there. And see, now we can tell that it's in the right place because these things are meshing. I would put that one there, and we'll turn it sideways and just do that. It's on its right side now. That's what we were going for. But we do need this, which now looks like it doesn't fit, but it's probably just me being dumb. Let's see here. You need your bottom legs. Now see, when you look at the pieces here, this cross section, that's where those things are gonna plug into, the holders. I have to wonder if it's that way with the tusk, and I'm doing this thing backwards. I think I have the tusks backwards. Okay. Yeah, that's the tusk. Okay. The reason I have it set down like this is when it lays flat, you'll notice that there's holes here. Not where the grips go into, but on the inside. That holds the clips on the top that kind of dock everything in place. I wish I could get a better angle here. Hold on, let me do something. see if I can adjust this. There we go. So now we have 4 pieces put together, and we are going to start building this guy. These parts we'll figure out as we do, because they'll react to the magnets, and that's kind of what's important. You want them to resist. See that? It wants to, it's not wanting to keep it in there. So it wants to kick it out. And honestly, you should have 2 magnets on the bottom because one's for the rod, the metal rod, to hold it in place. All right, so we get the other clip. And honestly, doing this part first was probably dumb because now I got to kind of hope it doesn't pop open. The eyeballs, right? So they go like this. See, told you. And see how this is not totally level at the top. I'm not going to pull it all up to show you. This doesn't feel right. So I'm pretty sure this one's going to be the right one. Yeah, top of it's flush now. As far as this guy, where was that piece fly off to? Oh, here we go. I'm just gonna leave them close. We also have to put in our long piece for the top, and the top long piece has this notch. That's how you're gonna know. The bottom long piece is gonna have your ball here. So just say that we took it all apart there. This works like this, okay? And now you're ready to stack the other part of the frame in here and start locking this crap down. There you go. So make sure that that's pushed like that, okay? Now we get our other top frame, all right? And pretty sure, yep, that's how that goes. And then this other piece here, no, goes just like that. Seems like that's not hiding very well, but let's see. We're gonna go ahead and put the other eyeball in. That'll cover the hole. I was doing my best to try not to lose that. Still lost it. Told you last piece in is this one probably, so learn from my mistakes. This will be the last one I'd want to mess with. I had to mess with it like 4 times. All right, there. This should be simple. It's going to guide itself. There we go. And legs, let's do it. So we need to go ahead with our left front. We know they hook over the top right here, so. And we got our left back. There's that. And look at our pieces here and make sure we're not like overlooking something. Now these are going to be easier to slide in than they probably appear to be. This says right D, so down. So since right's on the other side, we're going to take it to where this R goes down, because it's the right side is on the bed. And once I get a clip in, I can actually pick this thing up. So let's just do that. There we go. We got a clip in. And we got our right up. So we want our right to be on the other side. Okay. We have our right front. It gives a hole at the bottom for the rod, so you know it's right. And then you got your right back. Hole on the bottom, plus the right goes across. There we go. I think I did mess up and not build. I knew I was forgetting something. This piece into it. This was going to hold the face together. It's not able to be put in now, so I have to take the brackets back out. I'm just going to not explain what I'm doing real quick and just do it. That way it's fast. Take all these out. Yes, we know. That's all I had to do. It was actually going to help me more when I assemble, because it snaps in right there as well. And you can actually pick it up now and do your brackets without having to lock one in first. So, right down. Don't know what's going on back here. Oh, I'm missing a leg, that's why. Okay, right down. So that's gonna be right back, which is where we are now, right back, right front. And the right up. Okay, so now we got all this back together. It's time to put our core back in. The core is easy enough to remember how to get in. Is that you're going to remember that it came out serial number up. So go ahead and just, you need to have the pins go in this direction so it can automatically inset a bit, like that. And then we're going to have to turn it until it starts falling in. I think I am going the wrong direction this time. There we go. And the very last part of this can be tedious for whatever reason. Maybe it's a Burrlephant issue. Mine. It almost wants to come back out. Time instead of going in. Let's try a different direction. There it goes. Yeah. It's very satisfying when the last part goes in, not because it's just done, but that the schwump, the magnetic of it. All right, so this guy's almost back together. We have to go ahead and put the metal rod back in. You should hear a snapping noise when it goes in. And that's where it hit the magnet. And you know, that's good. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the tusks back on, or I'm sorry, the trunk. The hole will be lined up with this dowel. And that snaps into place. And then the eye, you're gonna have it go magnets facing in, and then the hole here is for the rod. And that will allow it to snap there in place and lock. And then all you have left are the ears. You have the curled one on the right, and this one on the left. When you pull, they should be stronger than if you swapped them out. And there is Burrlephant. My alarm went off while I was filming, so we're now on a second take. I just kept going. Who cares? What are my thoughts? Wow. Well, I told you it's one of my favorite puzzles. You got assembly here, tricky disassembly and assembly. There's locks in it, you know, things keeping things from happening. You have to actually give it thought. You can't just break this down and then put it back together. There's definitely some tricks to making it work. And then there's ways to make it more efficient as far as that. It takes a good 20 minutes or so to break one of these down, put it back together, which is a great little time killer for something that's satisfying. The big magnets are very satisfying. The handling, it's all very lacquered and beveled deep, you know, big rounded edges, big chunky cuts. It has an aesthetic that is its own. And the creator, Jerry, you know, he has a style all his own. You recognize his work right away. That's one of his right behind it, you know. So yeah, this, I don't know what else more to say. It's an SD puzzle, Kimiki slash magnetic burr, blessed by the hands of a great creator. So, I mean, what more can you want? This one here, they're impossible to find. I'll just be real. I've been begging Jerry for almost 2 years for one. He did make me a Snappy though, so begging did pay off eventually. But I still don't have one of these made by him for me, and he probably took me off his list now he knows I got one. Yeah, it was really hard to get my hands on one. They can end up being really expensive. It's kind of a seller's market there because there's so few of them, and people covet these things. Like I'm already saying, some of my favorites. So these guys that make, these older guys that are retired making some of these great things. It's weird, a lot of them are like retired computer guys, so maybe there's something in that we all need to tap into. I don't know, but this one's a great deal of fun to figure out. It's also just great to resolve, you know, and go through the session again. So I wanted to do that and share it with you guys. I give this one a 99. I mean, like I said, I'll probably never give 100 out, but this is as close as it gets for me right now. And maybe I'm just smitten, right? Maybe I'm just in love in the moment, and I'll be fickle later, but I doubt it. I've been given some pretty decent offers for this, which I've declined. I intend to keep it. I intend to have Burrlephant as a fixture in my collection one way or another. So here it is. I call him Burley, and y'all have a good one. I got more stuff to show. I just gotta solve it. Like, hey, this thing's really cool. I'd love to show this off, but oops. But yeah, I don't know how to solve it, so I have to figure that part out. But yeah, you guys holler back, let me know the feedback, the comments, whatever. Subscribe if you want, so you'll find out the random times I actually upload, and there you go. Have a good one. Peace.